You see who KYRIE Irving is? KYRIE's a good brother, man. KYRIE's a good brother. We used to butt heads because he missed work too damn much. And I'm like, yo, man, this brother's electrifying. I want to see this brother dancing on the basketball court. I don't want to hear no shit about no COVID vaccine. Get your ass on the court. I need to see you. Now, obviously, in hindsight, the brother right, because we see all the conspiracy theories that come out, and props to him for having the foresight to see that. We didn't see that at the time. And then, but you also have to understand, I'm living in a world where you got cats making 38, 40, 45 million. You got GMs and owners complaining about it. And you got billionaires looking me in the face and saying, yo, StepheN, I took that damn vaccine. Who the hell are they not to take the vaccine? And we're living in a country where the government was imposing all of that on us. So I'm sitting there going like this.
For this made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
What it do, people? You're now tuned in.
Popovich
TV.
TV. Oh yeah.
We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here. One more again. So if it's your first time, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. To everybody else, you already know. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now.
Let's talk about this shit though. We in the end game because StepheN Smith recently, not talking about Jasmine Crockett, we covered that already, and I could care less about that. I mean, you know, she is who she is, he is who he is, and they are who they say they are. If they wasn't, then they wouldn't be saying that they are, right? We are who we thought they were. Dennis Green from the Vikings press conference, and we let him off the hook. But anyway, he was on one podcast, and he was talking about KYRIE Irving, right? And talking about the jab shit, you know what I mean? Who got flames? For those that took it, you know, I ain't knocking you. I was one that was looking with the side eye. I was looking like this. Do I really want to let these people do me, you know what I mean, any type of way? Then they activate that shit and then you die. Or they activate it and you start killing motherfuckers like, what was that movie? The Kingsman, right? And Samuel Jackson was the bad guy. He was the antagonist. And they had shit on the phone where everybody was like, yo, 5G, keep holding that shit to our ear. As soon as that shit go, motherfucker go in a trance and then you start killing shit. All you see is red, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not. Anyway, though, he like, yo, recently on whatever podcast he be making his rounds. StepheN make his rounds. He is a provocative figure, and it gets the people going. Boom, 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 boom. Like he's a provocative figure, whether you like him or you don't like him. So a lot of the other podcasters, you know, they book him. I don't know if they pay him or however it goes, but he be on their show, especially like the sports people. But anyway, he was talking about KYRIE in the sense of that he was right in not taking the jab and that he sat out. But y'all remember how he was excoriating them, talking about him crazy. His father had to get on the phone, like, yo, how the fuck you talking about my son and it ain't got nothing to do with sports and him playing for the Nets and woo, 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 and And then even when me and my nigga Great Fire did the song KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA. One got crazy handles, the other going shoot you. I even said in that joint, when I say skipping your first take, cause you ain't no producer, put your glasses on. We don't dispute with the losers. Mama mentality, crafty maneuvers. Like, they was going hard on Kendrick Perkins, everybody was taking their little jabs. And coming to find out, people passed over this thing. People lost their livelihood over this thing. A lot of people, was in disarray when they was forcing pretty much. That's what they was doing. You can slice it and dice it any way you want, or you can either dread it, run from it. But destiny arrives all the same. People lost their jobs. People lost housing. People was homeless. People had to choose between doing some shit they didn't want to do, which is force, pretty much. I don't want to use the R word, but pretty much you forcing me. It's either work for you and take the job off, or go pick up bottles and pack bags or do some other shit. You know what I mean? Take it to the streets and take my chances. So what people gonna do? most law-abiding citizens, the law is for the law-abiding citizens. Bobby, it's not really a topic, but people be like, jaywalking, right? They don't never really enforce that unless these officers being real fucking assholes. But just think about it. Any law you could think of, whether you agree with it, you don't, or whether it's bullshit, or you're like, nah, we need this law. It's really only for the law-abiding citizens. Because people that don't follow the law, it doesn't apply to them until they get caught. So most people in America and worldwide, they're law-abiding citizens. Most of, for the most part. So if you go to work every day, it's your livelihood, and then all of a sudden, farmer, your boss, the higher-ups, the government, and all that shit, they be like, oh, so if you want to come through these doors again, you got to take the jab. Or you could go home and figure it out. What most people going to do? They're going to think, they're going to conform. They ain't going to Colin Kaepernick, and even when KYRIE was going through it, one of my points was I'm happy because he was rich, and he's a big fish. So anytime you made it, you don't have to conform. That's why I was talking about Snoop Dogg, and this is a side note. It's not really a topic. After they came for him with the LGB5 and the L train and all that shit. And they like, yo, we hear you talking down on us. We want to, redirect you, put you in the right direction. And then all of a sudden, he got a song, he got cartoon characters in his show. And basically, yes, massa, you conforming when you already got money. So you don't have to do it. Not saying that the people that don't got money have to do it, because now it's about principles, morals, and values. And which side of the gun line you on, boss? But KYRIE was rich. So if he did anything other than stand on principle and business, I personally would have been looking at him like, damn, my nigga, you come in this, this metaphorical, philosophical, you a genius. So I'm being funny. But he come off as real intelligent, real, real sharp. You're going to fall for the banana and the tailpipe, Pausellini. You're going to fall for that, but you already have millions. And he did. And now StepheN come back because a lot of them people at ESPN, they took the they had to go through it, and like most Americans, they had no choice. StepheN wasn't turning down that money at ESPN and Disney. You kidding me? Nigga wasn't turning down that bread. Not at all. So he took the jab, and he was mad that KYRIE stood upon principles, and he had to conform, even though they both millionaires. Even though at that time, KYRIE had way more than him. Now StepheN up. You know what I mean? Got that big contract. He is the face of ESPN, not just First Take, in my opinion. So he doing good. You know what I'm saying? But who do you know? And I'm sure everybody was closely affected. You know what I mean? 360 degrees of separation. Did anybody in your family had to, quit a job or take it? They didn't want to. You had to decide whether it was right for your kids to go to school, shit like that. You got, but you're black. 30 minutes into the show, you got black nurses and shit passing out on TV, like Uncle Murder said, like, miss me with that funny shit. Live on camera, like, nah, miss me with the funny shit. But they black and they look like you, and by the way, they telling you to take the Well, let's talk about this shit, though. We all for that. If you ain't do it, salute to you. If you did it and you still trucking and moving and you got the train rolling, you still paying your bills and getting it out the mud, I'm not knocking you. You know what I mean? At the time, I didn't have to do it. Now that I'm working now, I may have to do that shit too. Or I may quit. You know what I mean? Depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying?
KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA. One got crazy handles, the other going shoot ya. KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA.
He's heating up.
Like KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA. Back to back like KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA, KYRIE and LUKA.
He's on fire.
Like KYRIE and LUKA. Pick your poison, KYRIE and LUKA. Pull up from 30 feet, the other gon' juke ya. Popovich, let me talk to your shooter. Skipping your first take, cause you ain't no producer. Put your glasses on, we don't dispute with the losers. Mama mentality, crafty maneuvers. Bombs on the beat, great fire, that's a doozer. Came from the street,
No team that can move us. Live on stage, tap dancing, they pandering. Expensive suits, lips loose, they rambling. 8-time All-Star, also a champion. Perk Shack in the fool, taking jabs, they mad at him. Hand down, man down, there goes that man again. Crossover, step back, he froze his man again. Sylvanian Shan guards, you see his handling. Harlem, the Mavericks town, you know we came to win. Kyrie and Luka, Kyrie and Luka. One got crazy handles, the other gon' shoot ya. Kyrie and Luka, Kyrie and Luka.
He's heating up.
Like Kyrie and Luka. But y'all know who it is. Popovich from Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.